Hello again to this video clip series, my journey to God in a very secularized world. I'd like to begin now in this video clip to talk about the topic that you can find also printed with the title, Only a Remnant Will Remain Faithful to the Truth. We're talking about in this period of great confusion, the great apostasy that St. Paul talked about. Because in this period of the great tribulation, Matthew 24:21, of the great apostasy, 2 Thessalonians 2, and also you can find it in the Catechism 675 to 77, only a remnant will remain faithful to the truth, who is Jesus Christ, John 14:6. Don Stefano Gobi, an instrument of Our Lady in founding the Marian movement of priests, prophetically predicted in his meditation on Gideon's battle against the Madianites, book of Judges, chapter 7. Only a remnant, he even said, only a remnant of the movement will be ready for the heroic climb of Calvary up to the end. But with this remnant, Our Lady will obtain her triumph. He said that, even about his movement, not only the church. This article offers some insight into what Our Lady revealed to Don Stefano Gobi. He said, this will in fact be a time of great falls on the part of my beloved sons, my priests. Many priests will fall in this period. I wrote to the members of the movement with an email, and I said to my dear members of the Marian movement of priests, I says, my name is Father Joseph Dwight. I am a priest in the Diocese of Perugia. Since at least 10 years, I have been part of the Marian movement of priests. I spoke with Don Stefano Gobi at Colle Valenza on March 24th, 2011, 3 months before his death. When Don Stefano Gobi asked me where was my diocese, he seemed a little surprised when I said that I came from the Diocese of Perugia, where the Freemasons are very strong. I was already reading the message of Our Lady to Don Stefano Gobi in California since 1976. And I continue with this email. He says, as you know, almost 20 cardinals and more than 150 bishops, more than 50,000 priests and religious have followed the Marian movement of priests, receiving by way of the book, which contains the messages, precious teaching from the Mother of God in this devastating attack of the ecclesiastical masonry on the sound doctrine of the Church and the sacraments, especially the Most Holy Eucharist. I think that all of us who participate in the cenicals of the Marian movement of priests realize the gravity of the situation today at all levels, politically, in the world and in the church. Before the second coming of Christ, that day will come, this is the words of St. Paul, I quote St. Paul, that day will not come unless the rebellion, the apostasy, comes first, and the man of lawlessness is revealed, the man of perdition, who opposes and exalts himself against every so-called God or object of worship, so that he takes his seat in the temple of God, proclaiming himself to be God. That's 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, also in the Catechism 675 to 77. Our Heavenly Mother is appearing in many places in order to warn her children, that is, her children who are willing to listen to her and to do what she says. Our Lady, in the final message on October 13, 1973, at Akita, Japan, on the anniversary of the great miracle of His Son on October 13, 1917, at Fatima, Portugal, said to Sister Agnes Sasagawa, the work of the devil will infiltrate even the church in such a way that one will see cardinals opposing cardinals, bishops against other bishops. The priests who venerate me will be scorned and opposed by their confreres. Churches and altars sacked. The church will be full of those who accept compromise. Also, more than 400 years ago, Our Lady of Good Success at Quito, Ecuador, January 20th, 1610, she warned us. She said, "Thus I make it known to you that from the end of the 19th century and shortly after the middle of the 20th century, the passions will erupt and there will be a total corruption of morals. As for the sacrament of matrimony, which symbolizes the union of Christ with his church, it will be attacked and deeply profaned. Freemasonry, which will then be in power, will enact iniquitous laws with the aim of doing away with this sacrament, making it easy for everyone to live in sin and encouraging procreation of illegitimate children born without the blessing of the church. In this supreme moment of need for the church, the one who should speak will fall silent." It is very interesting that Our Lady of Good Success said the one. She did not say those. That is, one person will fall silent. You might visit my article, "The False Pope Will Fall Silent." Before the document Amoris Laetitia, the great majority of Catholics understood for 2,000 years from the words of Jesus and from the teachings of the Catholic Church that it is a grave mortal sin to have sex outside of marriage. After the publication of Amoris Laetitia in 2016, now at least the majority of Catholics believe that it is no longer a sin to betray the wife or the husband, or to abandon the children, or to do any kind of sexual act outside of marriage. Behold the destruction of the sacrament of matrimony, as Our Lady of Good Success warned us already 400 years ago. Satan wants confusion in the Catholic Church, which causes great damage to the church and to the souls. Confusion helps people to follow more and more their own subjectivism and relativism, so that each person can interpret the sacred scriptures and the Ten Commandments in their own way, as do the Protestants for 400 years, but not according to God, explained infallibly by the magisterium of the Church, well summarized in the Catechism of the Catholic Church that John Paul II left us. In the famous Dubia, 2016, 4 cardinals asked Pope Francis clarification regarding Amoris Laetitia. Pope Francis totally refused to respond or dialogue with these 4 cardinals, with the sacred scriptures and the documents of the Church as a basis of dialogue to seek truth of God, which does not change, nor the truth of man, which changes with the whims of the world and of every person. How many priests and bishops today do the same and refuse to dialogue with priests who ask for clarification according to the teachings of the Church, according to the truth which does not change with the modern church? What is the real motive here? The salvation of mortal souls, or are there hidden motives here? St. Augustine tells us, week 13, Ordinary Time Tuesday, he says, "If I sought to please men, I should not be the servant of Christ." And also, St. Paul says to us in first chapter Galatians, "Am I now seeking the favor of men or of God? Or am I trying to please men? If I were still pleasing men, I should not be a servant of Christ." Galatians 1. A great number of priests today do not want to, or are not even capable to dialogue with other priests so as to seek together the truth or prudence in a certain situation with the documents of the Church. Similar to Pope Francis, they demand blind obedience without dialogue. Is this the way to become humble, the little, as Our Lady in the Blue Book tells us often? Our Lady in the Blue Book, the Joseph de Gobi, she actually said, "Let there be no leader among you." She's talking in the movement. "I myself will be your leader. You must all be brothers, loving, understanding, and helping each other." This is a message of July 16, 1973. And then in another message of August 22, 1976, she says, "Therefore there should be no leader among you, You are all brothers, united in love that must grow ever more and more. August 22. The religious who are not mature and are insecure, who do not lead others with their example, but rather with commands without dialogue, do not succeed in understanding these words of Our Lady. A great number of people today believe to have all the truth, or to be the source of truth, and thus do not feel the need to dialogue in order to seek together the truth of God with the documents of the church. As Jesus said to us, the truth will make you free, or the confusion will make you free. Which makes us free? The truth of God or confusion will make us free? The truth makes us free for all eternity. The confusion offers us false freedom today, but not tomorrow and not for all eternity. I finish this video clip here. May God bless you and Mary guide you.